Only this giraffe knew that his image is transmitted around the planet right now. Smile, giraffe, you're on wild earth. Live from Thornybush, Saturday afternoon. Here is South Africa. Saturday night, Australia, New Zealand. Diane, Shanae, waiting for them to join us on the drive. And morning in Canada, United States, Venezuela, Nicaragua. This is Scott in Nicaragua. Imagine it's the giraffe talking. Hello everybody, welcome to the African bushveld. Let me take you for a drive. Follow me. Mind the bump in the road. He says, licking his lips, looking at some green vegetation on a still green gardenia. An important drive this afternoon from one aspect. Funny, I've just been watching a big male nyala doing exactly the same thing outside the kitchen window. And a gardenia isn't the easiest of bushes to eat from. This is not something like an acacia that's got thorns that you can just wrap your tongue around and they don't really matter. Gardenia is really spiny and it's got short, sharp branchlets. And I was watching the nyala eating its leaves, and now watching the giraffe. He can't really wrap his tongue around the branches like they usually do. He's actually picking leaf for leaf, almost. Trying to get his prehensile lips onto those little branchlets rather than using his tongue this time. These are bigger leaves. They're leaves. And the acacias have all got compound leaves, so they're leaflets. He needs a handful, so he uses his equivalent, which is a tongueful. Seeing how the trees have developed these physical attributes to stop animals from eating too much. Don't mind us, Mr. G. We just want to sneaking a little bit closer to him, but in the process turning in towards him, he did feel a little threatened. One thing one doesn't really do is that we don't really drive towards animals, but I think he was confident I wasn't going to come any closer. Haven't disturbed him at all. Back to feeding, and eventually he'll become comfortable with us. In the current circumstances, he might even think that now that we're here, he can relax even more, that we'll look out for danger for him. Don't know. He knows what he thinks. When his mind is on food. Places to go, animals to see. Becky's flying across the sea. See you later, Mr. D. Or do we want to see him attacking this poor gardenia? He's using his tongue to pull the leaves in, but also using his lips to pinch the leaves on the ends of the branch. It's actually nice to just sit here and listen to him quietly feed. Very quiet bushveld. Barely a bird calling. And it's time to move on. How to hide a giraffe behind a small terminalia. Turns his back and he disappears completely. Later, dude. Okay, so on we go. We are going north. At the moment we're heading more or less south, but we're going to go north eventually, very soon. We actually turned south because the giraffe told us to. these radios? Or?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, you see, somehow I had to change earpiece. This earpiece was 100 times louder than the other earpiece. So it's like I've got to have it on the lowest possible volume, otherwise it blows my ear drum out of my left ear. Most of the cloud has gone, a few little patches. There's one obstinate little patch that's just hugging the sun at the moment. Come on, move along. Give me some sunlight, please. It's different temperature when the sun goes behind the clouds. So we want to investigate some leopard first of all this afternoon. Warthog 5 to 12. This is a local family we see sometimes. I think this is their family of 6. Oh, and they run as soon as they see us. I don't know why. They think they are going to be... I don't know what they think. Why they seem to... we're a danger. I don't really see her much. What's on? Why? Oh, but we have to use them just now.
Yeah.
I'll still use them. I just can't control.
I'll turn it on.
Oh, you're a control freak. Am I only learning this now? Oh, okay. You are the camera person after all. You do your thing, I'll do mine. Okay, let me explain. Every now and then, for some inexplicable reason, that maybe somebody could work out one day, but until now I think it shall remain a mystery feature of the digger, run by the gremlins that have always run it, always operated the electronics. Every now and then I can control the back cameras with this microphone. Inexplicable too. Every now and then it doesn't happen. Today's one of those days when it happens. And I no longer have control. Thank you. It's in your hands. Capable as they are. I wonder where he crossed the river. I can still do it. I better switch him off. An interesting question from Jerry. Hello, Jerry. Now, what have you taken out now? Oh, the sound. Green one. Well, it's still a sound wire. It's still a 3.5 mil sound jack coming in. Okay, well, let's test it. Jerry wants to know if there are any trees, plant trees, that elephant and giraffe don't eat. Oops. Well, yes. The thing is that what might be toxic for one might not be for another. And I'd have to think about this seriously. Because every now and then, I mean, I could show you there's a crassula, or is it a kalanchoe? But, not sure what bird that is. That hardly ever gets eaten, but every now and then kudu or something will eat the flower head. So I seem to think that, well, maybe there's some property in it that gets used medicinally by an animal. We can't ignore the fact that animals over time have learned that certain plants have some benefits. I know for a fact that chickens and domestic animals will occasionally nibble on aloe when they have stomach problems. Or it helps with internal parasites or something. The same way we use aloe a lot. But whether they avoid them or not, it's hard to tell, because things like Thornybush, like the euphorbias, the other euphorbias, Thornybush has a very toxic milky latex, toxic to us humans, and I'm sure toxic to a number of things. Yet I've seen giraffe, kudu, nyala, Thornybush. There's a tree, the scotia, the boobeen. Haven't seen them eating boobeen. Hardly ever see an animal eating off of their African wattle, very high in tannin. One hardly ever sees them eating off guarri, but there again, every now and then, on rare occasions, you'll see something eating one of them, some leaves. Things that I've never been, I'm going to say impala lilies, but I've seen animals chew on the tops of impala lilies. The euphorbias, the candelabra trees that they look like cacti. The euphorbias are mighty poisonous. Their milky latex, they're notorious in fact, for their toxicity with that milky latex, and they're used to catch birds as bird lime and used to catch fish by putting it in the water and preventing their gills from absorbing oxygen from the water. But it is so bad that it blisters our skin before being the burn. And yet the animals like black rhino eat it. I don't know what else. I know that elephants won't touch euphorbia. I don't think giraffe will ever touch. Well, the candelabra euphorbia. There might be other euphobias that they might. If, in fact, Thornybush, I'm sure actually Thornybush is, I'm not mistaken, Euphorbiaceae, the euphorbia family. And I'm sure that somebody could probably Google it quicker than I can look it up. But as far as that is, euphorbia. The Thornybush is a euphorbia. As I thought, because the closest thing, the remarkable thing actually I found in East Africa was a plant called a pepper seed. It's like a giant sambuti seed, exactly the same shape, the same, except it was bigger. Had a multi-latex, discovered it was euphorbia. But all of the euphorbias, those of you who garden, you'll know the plant called poinsettia. Poinsettia is also euphorbia. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know about what's called oleander. I'm not thinking of oleander. That's very, very poisonous. But much like you can't use oleander for preparing food on an open fire, you can't use any of the other euphorbias like subwood. We're going to have to just ride up the fence line. Just a little bit. Okay, David, I turned you down, but you're up again with a lot of experience. Pardon? What's it? That one? Oh, the car. Oh, sorry. I forget you've got magnified sound. Morning. Mrs. Malawan female. So young and grown son who is meant to be moving on. And probably, I don't know whether it's any of her kids, but she was here somewhere. We're going to just have a look around a little bit. Becky has to drive the worst of the road. The worst of roads at least once before she leaves. Yes, I would also drive the worst roads for the best time. Look at all this lobelia going blue. I'm sure the lobelias are like what they call depending on the iron or alum, or depending on the mineral content of the soil, they're either white or blue, or any shade in between, exactly like these lobelias. We're also coming up this way to look at where the elephants have gone to, because there were elephants that ventured over that road up in the north that has become our northern nemesis. And then they went back over that road by the time we got up there. The road that runs parallel to the fence line, not very far from the fence line, and there was a lot of evidence to suggest that the leopard were in here to the right somewhere this morning, and we're going to have a look to see if either of them have come out of there. taking control. Oh, they are still recording. And I can't control them anymore. Oh, I could. No cents, no pennies, no rand, no dollars. It's an anomaly of note. Okay, so David, thanks for the question, but now I forgot. You see, as soon as I get a question, suddenly something happens. Who was that from? I'm going to take a quick walk up to that eroded section because this is one of the few sandy spots on this road to see if we can pick up tracks of either of these cats. She was walking in this bush to our right. And so we want to just see if she maybe came out here because quite a bit of time has passed, so I'll be back shortly. I think yes. There are a few spots where it could have crossed the road and gone into the drainage line. There were some birds calling now. You can still hear them. A couple of sprineers and testiculars and babblers that were alarming. But I think they might have been alarming at me. It's very deep down there. So I'm going to drive up a little bit ahead and see if we can't find some more tracks further up. And then we'll get onto the Leti Road. I thought that maybe that bird was shouting at one of the cats. The best thing will be to get up to the junction of the Leti Road. Take a look there. Get up to where there were elephant tracks. Like here. Which way is that elephant going? Really?
It's narrow at the back.
Where is it kicking sand? Which way is it kicking sand? Okay. I trust you. Oh! this one. Looks like same as 100 track. With its toes. Very hard to, I'd have to walk very, very carefully and look at maybe toe marks, some subtle marks where there's sort of loose gravel. Oh, sorry. But lots of human tracks. Got out of the vehicle. Okay, so go down this way and I'll the thing is that where it's gravel, where it's really, really loose, very small stone, it's very difficult to see tracks. Very difficult to see anything. You'd be able to see an elephant maybe has been there, but a leopard, no. Pardon? The prop stop. I need to check. Right, smell elephant. Okay, can we stop and listen? Because they were just north of here. I'm just going to go and have a look. Fiddling with my earpiece. I'm going to do two things at once now. I'm going to see if I can find out where these elephants have gone, but at the same time I want to see, this is where these leopards were heading. I wanted to see if the tracks don't maybe cross the road here. There's some animal paths that come up. There are some heli tracks. Will just help me try and figure out where they are too. Wind's picking up. Oh, there are a few toe marks. Could be. We need to drive a little bit further on. A few toe marks underneath the elephant track. Because these ellies were here as well at some point. Let's drive a little bit further on. And there is a little dam further on as well. And the remains of a little pan. You can see these fresh branches broken by elephants. I'm going to stop here and on the radio again. Is there anything on the radio?
No, I can't hear that.
Okay. Well, tracks come out of the bush heading along this road, so maybe we'll catch up with her and maybe he's heading towards that water. Looks quite fresh. I guess. Ça va? Sawa sawa? Vipi bwana, vipi? Okay, thanks Penny. Penny's saying that, so I'm just going to have a look along the fence line and see. So now the cat's gone north and we can't follow it. We will lose signal. Thanks Penny. Penny in Durban saying there's been some controversy as to what the black rhino's temperament, because they feed on cambooti, which is a euphorbia. Well, they also feed on euphorbias. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I won't rule it out. I think that perhaps, yeah, so leopard's gone north. Where's the elephant? No, it is the nature of animals that live in thick bush to be a little bit temperamental, because you've got to remember, when you're living in a closed environment, like the black rhino or the bushbuck or the leopard or forest elephant, any forest environment, you've got to remember that animals have danger at very close quarters when there is danger. So they've got to react very, very abruptly. And, well, attack is the best form of defense at close quarters. And when, who knows? I mean, it's known fact, actually. Not who knows, but it is known that bushbuck can be aggressive at close quarters, leopard are aggressive at close quarters, other animals who prefer dense habitat. And they don't all eat the wood. Animals that live out on the plains and happen to live in herds. You see, also the other thing is that the animals that live on the plains that have the space around them, they don't need to be short-tempered or bad-tempered for that matter, or as reactive. Let's call it fast reactive rather than anything else. When danger comes, normally they can see it, and normally it's seen by some individuals to alert all the rest, and it's open areas are conducive to living in groups, because groups, there are more eyes, more ears, or even socializing with other animals, because there are more eyes and more ears, there are just more individuals to look out for danger, because you can see danger, you can hear it, you can probably smell it. So it is worthwhile to live in groups when you're out in the open, but when you're in thick bush, it's not. You can't live in big groups when you live in thick bush, because part of living in a group is that visual communication, that visual contact that each individual has with the rest of the group, with the rest of the family, the rest of the herd, whatever it may be. And that's why animals, a lot of animals, especially the grazers and things, that's why they have very distinct markings on their rumps, and their tails are always pushing. Not because of flies, it is to some degree, but also it's mostly because they're just in contact with each other, and it's a kind of a placebo. No, not a placebo. It's a means to calm everyone down and say there is no danger, because as soon as there's danger, animals' tails stop wagging, and causes other animals whose heads are in the grass to look up to see why there aren't any tails wagging anymore. So it draws attention. A tail can draw attention to the fact that it's safe, and a tail can draw attention to the fact that it's... I'm digressing. The point is that in thick bush you can't see tails. You can't walk around talking to each other all the time, because you're going to be heard. Here is that nyala. And living in a group in thick bush makes it difficult to keep in touch with each other, to tell each other whether there's danger or not. And the more animals there are that are moving around in thick bush, the more noise you make, so the harder it is to hear danger. So that is why a lot of animals live solitary lives, semi-solitary lives, smaller groups, when they're in thick bush. Where does Yola go? Dissolve. Here's the young boy here. Yes, she is. There's her son about to cross the road. There's the baby, and there's another mama. It should be nice if we can just get past them. Sorry, little boy. Okay, you stay there. We want the family to come and join you. I'm going to turn around because the sun is going to be in our eyes. There's a little baby there. If they'll give us the time to turn around. We see Nyala bulls a lot. We don't really get to see families a lot. Not that often. And elephants have gone this way. There. Maybe we'll try to test. Are we not supposed to do anything for them? Very simple. We're just supposed to I don't know about mumbling about that thing on the record. Okay, so the alpha female of the pack of the third, the family of Nyala has moved. So she's eating. Come, children. Come, Mrs. Nyala, bring the rest of the family. We want to see you all across the road. They're eating Vernonia. I saw that big male outside the kitchen window just before drive. Big male Nyala. Before he was eating the gardenia, he was eating on Vernonia. I'll show you the Vernonia. Any of you seen my pictures? There's a hoverflower and a Vernonia flower on my Facebook page. Hello, baby. We've got a new baby in camp. It'll only be a week or so old, or two. This little baby is a couple of months. Little boy is about 2 years old. Off of Carissa. Bambi. Hello, Bambi. Fluffy tail. Little boy getting his big boy colors. Yes. Very nice. What? Dolly? You're not... Hello, Dolly in Ontario. Nice to hear from you again, Dolly. Haven't heard from you in a few drives. Oh, they're bush babies. And where do they go? They hide in trees at night. Oh, I suppose they don't. I suppose they do hide. They don't. They spend their nights out in the trees, feeding, looking for moss and insects. And nowadays, when there are not so many moths and insects, they're feeding on the gum of trees within their territories. And during the day, they're in holes in trees. They take over the holes of perhaps woodpeckers or natural knot holes where insects are bored into trees, places where elephants have maybe broken trees and there are hollows that have been created. So many things bore into wood here, and over time, even though there might be living wood in the tree, there's still dead wood in the tree, and things can burrow into it. Over time, holes get bigger, cracks and crevices are made. But during the day, they're in there, they're in nests, they have nests, sleeping hollows. Every now and then I've found a bush baby hollow in my lifetime, but not often. Every now and then. You get there at the right time of day and you see a bush baby emerging from a hollow somewhere. Those are the small ones, by the way. These are the lesser Gallegos. The scientific name is Galega maholi. The thick-tailed bush babies. I haven't heard any along the river. One does find them along permanent rivers, but more in association with trees like fig trees and mangosteen. Fruiting riparian trees, big trees that fruit, provide food for them. Those are the thick-tailed bush babies. Galago, quackful dog. Eddies haven't come back this way. Radio's quiet. Rattling in front. It wasn't rattling before. A lot of vehicles coming out of there. Might not be chilly for you. Saturday and I feel fine. What is it? Saturday night, it's alright. Yeah, we'll have a question break. Stop it now. They were recording all the time. Donna in Port Charlotte. Hello, Donna. How's Florida today? I believe there's some pretty intense heat waves washing over the state. 110, 120 odd degrees. Was it 130? I don't know. Death Valley was like. Death Valley was like a frying pan. I was in Death Valley exactly. I was in Yosemite, 1996, 17 years ago. Yes, I believe quite a heat wave washing over the state. Donna in Miami asked a question. The life of me, I can't even remember what it is. Nothing. So it's not fair. How long does an elephant take to grow to its full size? Thank you, David, for the reminder. Could have pretended I remembered. I left my mind completely. How long? Well, elephants are mature at sort of 30 yards, but they're not full size. There's a buffalo lying on a triangle down the bottom there. But they're full out. A 40-year-old elephant will still grow. I'd say 40. Okay, let's call it at about 40 when an elephant has reached 40, 45. Because from about 45 on 50, just like us humans, like then we start receding. Our bones start sagging, our shoulders, our body starts sagging a little bit. So I'd say that an elephant bull is probably at his full size at about 40 when his head is, although when his head might fill out a little bit more. I don't know what that noise could be, because it's not regular. Could be the same thing that's squeaking when there's no lubricant on it. What happened to my fleece? Oh, here it is. Do you want something? Okay, well, it's later for me already. Time. I know summer, winter. Can I say? I don't have my customary long sleeve t-shirt on underneath. I have my new Land Rover t-shirt only. Normally I've got two t-shirts. Elephant t-shirt and a long sleeve t-shirt, and then my Wilder shirt, and then my fleece. Now a few layers short. I can't wait for spring. Like at home, I don't ever wear a shirt. I never have to. Unnecessary when I have to use soap and water to wash it. Yeah, boy, David, let's try. So, it isn't, yes. Robin B, have I actually seen any hyenas this morning? But funny enough, Robin, only off of camera. The time I've seen hyenas is when we've already shut down and I'm far away from camp and we've got to drive home in the dark, and there's been a hyena on the road. It's happened a couple of times, actually more than a couple. A couple implies two, but sometimes we in South Africa say a couple of times, meanwhile we mean 4, 5 or 6, because we don't really use the word in that term couple in relation to two. Like when we say just now, don't necessarily mean just now. We mean any time between now and tomorrow. It means just now. So maybe 2 hours is maximum for just now. So seen a few hyenas. Not on camera though. We have yet to get a camera, well, get a hyena on camera. the hyena den. There is one, or there was one. They haven't been talking about it. Maybe they've moved the den. Could be. Find tracks every single day. There's a buffalo. As we come around the corner, there's going to be a buffalo there. I'm predicting that. Pardon? We did. There. On the other side of the drainage line. Speak to the devil. Here are hyena tracks. Right here, right now. But you think we saw the hyena? No. They're very, very shy. Yeah. Okay, around the next corner we'll see a buffalo. I meant this next corner. Not this corner. I meant the next corner. I don't want to disturb him. I don't want him to get up. He's just a cardboard cutout meant to impress the people. The cardboard cutout must have fallen over. Or got up and walked away. He's no longer there. Maybe a UFO came down and grabbed him. There was a buffalo on this triangle. He was sleeping here minutes ago. There he is, hiding in that tickle bush. Okay, I know normally there he is means something else, but the buffalo hiding in tickle bush. That's what I can get excited about today, so I haven't seen myself for a while. Maybe this gap. No, this is rough in there. It's not a good view at all. We can go to Longwan Dam. There might be a couple there. We'll see if the crocodile is there. Radio is awfully quiet. I mean, the game drive radio. Yes, there's a parent. Nice to hear from you, Keisha, and thank you for the compliment. That's why the radio's quiet, because nobody's been out yet, so I think it's leaving now. Keisha wants to know what camera I use for my photographs, saying that they're really good. Well, it is this camera. This is a 2005 model Fujifilm 5.1 megapixel fine pix camera with a 10 times optical zoom, and Paula's camera, not my camera, Paula's camera. I just take the pictures for Paula. It's got this amazing little feature. This little thing, there's a little macro there. That helps me with my insect shots, that little lens. One day when I grow up, I'll get a different camera. That's like one of those Canon things. Maybe. But for now, it's a challenge getting good macro photos. LE photos and macro photos. The other photos that I've taken, they're average. I really like that leopard photo that I put on the Thornybush Private Nature Reserve page, but its focus is a little bit soft and not as crisp and as clear as a Canon would do, or something with 12 or 15 megapixels, 5 megapixels. I mean, there's phones now that have got better than 5 megapixel cameras. But with macro work, it works fine. I don't know what I would be doing. What I would do if I had photographs that were 11 to 20 megapixels, 20 megs, 15, 20 megs a picture, or 10 to 15 megs. Look, there's this kudu. Bad enough I've got so many photos. The thing with the digital, like in Ruaha, when I was in Ruaha, I took a few thousand photographs, but I still somehow got to go through at some point and sort out some nice, really young kudus. The rest of the family on the left hand side of the road. A young bull peering at us. He's about a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 2.5-year-old. Stop. Very pretty. Mr. Kudu. Soon you're going to have to join some of the old men in the bachelor herd. It's like that Nyala family. He's still a youngster. He's still hanging out with Mom and the calves. Their horns are pretty full at 6 years old, I think. His horns are only about a third of the way there. Cow and a calf on this side of the road. I'm not. They've crossed already. Is that pretty girl? There she is. There's that little baby. The little boy, I think. Little hornbird starting on his head. No, can't make that assumption. long legs and big ears, big eyes. And what's that? A nyala up ahead. Young nyala bull crossing the road or feeding into the road. Thank you, Kudu. Kudu, Kudu. Kudu. Hyena does. Up and down. Another nyala. Full of yards today. Leopards couldn't survive entirely on nyala in this reserve. Probably can't catch them very easily. They're very alert, big ears. Cold wind coming from the north now. Northwest. So now I missed that update. What is that update? No update at all. I don't think there are very many vehicles driving around this afternoon. One vehicle has only just left the lodge. Making a noise. I'm expecting to see crocodiles because it's a really cold wind. Across the other side. Zebra, kudu, waterbuck and wildebeest. Hello, giraffe. They're seeing me walking around. They're such good eyesight. My big jacket on. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's ridiculous. I've got shorts on. I should have had my fleece lined jeans. But then I was optimistic about the weather. Nice clear skies to the south. All the cloud is gone. It won't be cloudy tomorrow. It'll be a Sunday tomorrow. Sunday, sunny Sunday. Okay, let's move along presently. Verily. Bye, Twiga. Bye, Mildred. Sorry to miss you today. Thanks for tea, you went around. I always go and dangle my feet in the water. Yeah, Mildred. He's a nice crocodile. Some toes for you to chew on. Sounds like the 2-mile line are down on Waterbuck Head. Something's not right with the truck shot. I guess I'm gonna have to climb under it. Get soaked in oil. car goes off the road. We do. We test our northern boundary, our northern limit. Can you put the back GoPro on the screen? I mean on the broadcast. It is. Thought we couldn't do that. What's the dBs, Dave? Unlock. Unlock. Choppy, choppy, choppy. I feel so choppy. Pardon? My Land Rover can drive without me having to correct it all the time. My Land Rover knows by now, 34 years old, she knows how to follow the road. Follow the road, nigga. She's flying. Okay, you can turn right. No, there's a sickle bush in front of you. No, sickle bush, sickle bush. Okay, try that again. Do that in a riverbed, because you don't have to steer in a riverbed, but trigger like, okay, come back to the road, back to the road, back to the road. See, look, she's doing it. Back to the road. I'm the Terminator. This is which country? This is there's the airstrip with what's the name now? No can do, copy that, thank you. Oh, switched it off. Can I switch it on again? Well, I did. Two wildebeesties. Wildy beasties. We're going to lose signal again going into the step 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. An open area like this on Zoom, I don't recall one. Oh, we're at 12 dB, we've never had signal here before, so maybe that thing on my Rexcop is working. An open area we've never seen before. Or it's just that the leaves and trees are getting dry. Yes, go ahead. Hello, Marsha in Louisville, Kentucky. Do Kudu and Nyala mark their territories? Do they have a dominant female in the herd? No, they don't mark their territories. So the how part doesn't really come into it. Answer's asking, do they mark their territories? How mark their territories? Don't really territories much. The thing is that so you can't really equate two different species. And like I want that, I don't know. Hope we're not going to lose things. But yes, it's not really a dominant, it's just the oldest female, the wisest female, the oldest female. Breaking up signal. Choppy. Signal is choppy. Signal is choppy. So therefore we better go back to Letty Road. Hoping that's now looking better. Okay, this is Oakley Loop, this road. Looking better. I think we're going to get back to that area where the leopards were. Maybe they started moving about a bit. changes things. Look at this beautiful light. Are the ostriches here at Thornybush by Donna? Have I ever had an ostrich egg? No and yes. No, I don't think there are ostriches here at Thornybush. And yes, I've eaten an ostrich egg. Yes. Well, I was one of about a dozen people. We cooked one egg for breakfast. Quite rich. We made a big scrambled egg. Knock a hole in it. I dare anybody to break an egg with one hand. An ostrich egg. Like you can with a chicken egg. 24 chicken eggs in one ostrich egg. I tell you something, it made a giant scrambled egg. Quite rich, very yellow. It was texture-wise very much the same. Egg. Ostriches learn like in South Africa. We had an ostrich industry that made it easy to get, and it still does, makes it easy to get ostrich eggs because they lay them without being fertilized. Bird flu has been a bit of a disaster. We've lost a lot of ostriches because of CUD programs to eliminate, eradicate, try and do something about bird flu. And there was a chagra and some babblers and an emerald spotted wood dove. Lovely light, lovely. Lovely time of the day. Saturday. Saturday night live. What other Saturdays? Saturday night fever. What's that song? Saturday night's all right for Friday. I don't know. What is it? Saturday. I don't know. It kind of just comes to me out of the blue.
Sure.
What other Saturday songs are there? Well, it's a Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. Got no money because I just got paid. There's a gardenia flower, white gardenia flower, but you can't reach it from here, can you? Hardly. Listen. A Saturday night flower for the ladies. It's a little bit far away, so hopefully it's the thought that counts. It's a gardenia flower, one of the sweetest smelling. Okay, I'll make sure you can. I can reverse you to see it.
But it is like...
Yeah, because there's a leaf in front of it. Okay, zoom
I
out.
can see that. I can see the flower. But
It's side on, not front on.
it's quite hard to spot because of the white light.
Oh, the white coming through the tree, of course. Okay, take my word for it, ladies. There's a gardenia flower there with your name on it. Smack bang in the center of the frame. Let's see if I can move and just get a bit of slightly different. Okay. Slightly different angle. Still too far away, but okay. Green behind. sunset about to happen in the west. Yeah, boy. Hello, Ellen in New Jersey. Have I ever had an invasion by wild animals? Home invasion. Wild animal style. Baboons. Yes. I have a family of squirrels that have taken up residence. They invaded and took up residence, and they're eating away my thatch. Not eating. Let's go. Let's move. Find a hot sunset spot or something. Rodents. Yes, that have eaten my books. Chewed on my books. Chewed the spines. Chewed also. Oh, gee, boy. There was a gerbil explosion in 1994. And some of my best books were chewed right down in the bottom right. If you're looking at it from the cover, that bottom right corner was chewed sort of away in a little mouse hole shape. Some of my most expensive and best books. Termites. I have a hyena that occasionally walks through my front door when I'm in the kitchen. That can be a little disconcerting sometimes. I have an elephant that keeps breaking the thatch above my front door because he tries to squeeze through between the euphorbia and on my stoop, and he breaks the little overhang of thatch all the time. But he hasn't tried to come in. I have insects and spiders and reptiles and things. I've got geckos that live behind pictures on the wall. But no, I don't think I could think of anything major. Snakes come in. Had an egg eater living there for a while. I don't tolerate the venomous snakes and scorpions like that. I try to remove them because I walk around barefoot all the time, so I'm not too fond of some of the children that might be coming. So no, I can't really think of anything that's really invasive other than the termites that are seriously unwelcome on my roof. But termites are there to eat dead wood, and what's the roof made of? Made of wood and thatch. Like thanks to a colony of termites. It has all the food you need for the next 2 centuries, but you can't eat it. Doesn't work. Termites get in where they want to go. hear more. We and a good afternoon, or it's probably morning still in Illinois. Hello, Carrie. Carrie in Illinois. Oh, look at that. We can get that sunset. Carrie is asking something about trees. I can talk to you when we get to see the sunset between some trees. It's quite pretty. If we can just time it right. Beyond these two trees should be a nice spot where we can see a little of the sunset. The big marula tree. Carrie's asking about baobab trees and willow trees. Carrie's saying that, yeah, that's quite nice actually. That giant baobab. You hardly hear something on Shaluti parallel. This is on the western fence line, but really pretty sky tonight. Carrie saying baobab her favourite tree here, but over there it's the weeping willow. Salix babylonica is what the weeping willow is. We don't have any willows, Salix, that I know of. Actually we do, come to think of it, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, we do have a lot of weeping willows right near the cities, on riverbanks, willows that have been planted. I grew up with a weeping willow in the garden, which is why I know my parents' garden. Salix macronata, subserrata, macronata. We've got a number of Salix willows. So 154 is the babylonica. Salix babylonica. There is the weeping willow. No, I want our 116 is our Salixes. While you're watching sunset, you can get an area. The Cape willow, very, very similar shaped leaf to the weeping willow. Macronata, because it has macronate leaves. Acacia. So it belongs to the same family, and it's actually an indigenous, the Cape willow. It does extend into this area, mostly around the Cape, in the southern part of the country. But I have to be honest, I haven't seen it up here. A polymorphic species with at least 5 subspecies. Oh, Janine would be interested to know this. Is that there's a subspecies that is restricted to the Olifants River. Oh, well that's in the Western Cape. Wrong Olifants River. Sorry, Janine. Goodbye, sunshine. See you tomorrow. Sunday tomorrow. Hope you're going to come up. Oh. And then, of course, there's a subspecies woody eye, which is in the basins of the Limpopo, Olifant, and Maputo rivers. So, different subspecies on our Olifant River. And then there's another subspecies in KwaZulu-Natal. See, I learn something new every day. Salix macronata. Salix subserrata, Salix capensis, and Salix woodii are the subspecies. Macronata capensis, Macronata subserrata. Here's a mapani leaf. I am getting tired. Other hand. There. Even better there, heart shape. Closer, higher. In my other tree book, I got a mapani leaf that's longer than the book, and it's 10 centimeters longer than the recorded longest mapani leaf. It's a bookmark. I used to have lots of other leaves. It seems that I've lost quite a few. Not in my book. One or two feathers. Old photograph of the Zambezi River. No, the Kafui River. Ferry crossing. Okay. Oh no, look, the sun's still doing its thing coming up underneath that cloud. We can scoot around the bend and see if we can see it better. Just quickly. Sorry, my earpiece has been out of contact trying to get me, David. So just a quick change of scene for a Saturday afternoon sunset. How's that? Not good. No good. No good? No, well now we're not going to get anything because we're getting too low. It is a nice gap through there, but about through there. And I found something that I can show people at the same time. Yes, question time, perhaps. Here's one for you to play with. And you could Rosie says she's going to miss you and wishes you luck on your next project and hope to see you on the next wee project. Yes. Sarah Kern says so as well. The sun's gone. Okay, have a look at this, what I found. I found an angel. No. See, there's the head.
But if you turn it face on.
That way.
No.
Oh, it's well in 3D. Oh, you're not in 3D.
The other way around.
But it's an angel. Why, where are you looking? Hey, you looking, the camera's not looking. Are you looking at me? The arm, there's the head, there's the wings at the back. Its legs have been chewed by something. That, everybody, ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, is one singular cervical vertebra of a giraffe. In fact, it is probably the second C2 vertebra of a female giraffe. There's the tabletop, don't move. And to show you the other side, there, back of the angel. Old giraffe carcass. You see, a giraffe is a mammal, and mammals, all mammals, have 7 cervical vertebrae. And that very, very long neck of the giraffe just means that it has extra long vertebrae. This looks like the axial. No, it's not. It's part of the thoracic group. This is the part where the hip joint, the ischium joint, the spine. Oh. Like a trade shunting railway. Look, there's a flower. Got a plumbago. Plumbago species. Chilly. So, let's see if these cats are moving. Yeah, boy. Hello, Rachel. In New Jersey. Excuse me, Hornbill. Thank you, currently having a dust bath. Time of the day for birds to have a dust bath. Wash away all those parasites that are found in the grasses, eating their feathers. Rachel wants to know if I've ever had a bad encounter while out on the drive. Yes, the national park officials in East Africa. With animals, no. Exciting ones, tense ones. Sometimes a little bit too exciting ones. But bad encounters, no, I can't really say so. Yeah, kitty. Becky's leaving. Cat, come on. Really? You've got to come out and say goodbye. Cause she's leaving on a steady train. We don't know when she'll be back again. Hello, Nyala, 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 Nyala. Oh, we saw that family earlier. Poor Nyala with a couple of big bulls. But I have to find his cat. Bad encounters do not drive. Not really. I'm thinking we should go down that bad road. Doesn't look like anyone's come out here. Maybe we do another quick check through the fence line and back. So Cindy, I guess maybe sound wasn't good enough there when I was playing with that giraffe vertebra. But Cindy asking, is it true that giraffes have the same number of vertebrae as humans? Trying to make that point with that giraffe vertebra, but didn't come across that was one single vertebra of the 7 vertebrae of the giraffe. So yes, all mammals have 7 neck or cervical vertebrae. And they are just very much longer. And ours is quite compact. Think about how long our neck is. It's got 7 vertebrae in there. Short and compact because we can't afford, we don't have relatively big head in relation to our body, so we need rather a broader neck. Opposed to small head with long neck. Okay, cats haven't come north, haven't followed the fence line. Do we find on this road or the next road? I'm going to try the next road. Oh, I should never have given you that toy. It is going to be cold tonight, and tomorrow morning is going to be freezing. Oh, I'm looking forward to what I would do for a hot bath right now. Okay, so I think I'm going to go and watch rugby tonight. Elephants were there. Not a rugby fan, but shark thing. Question. What is the question? What? What's the question? Have I given my landy name? What's like? Yes, my landy's name is Landy. Landy the Landy. Sometimes Landy, but mine is Landy R.E. You'll find most Landy, they say Landy with a Y. Mine's Landy with an R.E. Landy. The Landy. My Landy. Landy. Hello, woodpecker. Yes, what is the question? Mr. James. Does it frost in Thornybush? Well, I would have said no, James, but we actually saw, and we had some frost a few weeks ago, still in June. I've been waiting for the July cold to hit us. We've been very lucky with rather warm weather, but I think tonight's one of those nice temperatures. Right now it's dropping fast. I wouldn't be surprised if there might not be a bit of frost tomorrow morning. But a few weeks ago there was some frost in the riverbed of the Thornybush River. I've got a question for you, James. Were you part of the reenactment of the battle for Gettysburg? It was like 150th anniversary, I think, today. Battle of Gettysburg. I know that James is a cavalry man, colonel or something in the US cavalry. That was in Pennsylvania. Sitting in the back row of the movies on a Saturday night. That was another song from the 70s. I'll leave that in your minds, everybody, as I say good night, so long, farewell, good day. Have a lovely Saturday. Hope you have a fun Sunday. Join us for our Sunday at 6:30 Central African Time. And we'll be out looking for elephants and lions and leopards and snakes, scorpions and spiders and birds and impala and giraffe, and the list is endless, so let me stop there. But do join us tomorrow. My name is Mark. Becky's on cam. David's been in FP, final control, forwarding email. We'll continue everything tomorrow. Same crew, I think, will be doing it. Doing what we do. Bringing Africa to you. Ta-da! Bye, everybody.